someone being bullied online, you can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Attention men under the age of 35. You know what really impresses the ladies? When a guy has a few drinks and later gets pulled over for buzz driving. That could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. There goes let's grab dinner and a movie. Oh, I know. You drive more carefully when you're buzzed. You've proven that hundreds of times. A woman admires that kind of confidence. And you've practiced how to speak if a cop does pull you over. Slowly, clearly, and politely like, "Good evening, officer." A woman admires that kind of foresight. And what woman doesn't find it adorable that you call it buzzed even though the law calls it drunk? You could kiss $10,000 goodbye, along with any chance of having a girlfriend. Because nothing says, "I'm a catch," more than a guy who lives in his parents' basement and calls it my place.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grass Golds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too.
At a brand new time, every third Saturday at 12 noon Central on GJRB.
Strange things in the sky and around the world. Strange beings sighted. What's going on? All around us, conspiracy theories are being discussed. This is the show all about the strange things that are way out there. I'm Gary Russ, and this Way Out There's back with more weird stories of the strange and the bizarre. Keep looking up in the sky and let me know what you see. Way out there. Every third Friday at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB.
Coming to GJRB, a program highlighting the artists that play on GJRB. Artist Showcase. The first show featuring the music of Samuel Day. We'll talk about him and his music and the songs he wrote and recorded, including his latest hit on the GJRB playlist, The Roses. In addition, you'll hear all the other Samuel Day songs. Click and listen to the podcast of the Artist Showcase. Uploaded and published on the GJRB Spreaker Public site Friday night, September 22nd at 8 p.m. Central.
That sound more like everyone else than anyone else. Hey, all right, it's Kip
Spreaker is the website which turns anyone into a radio DJ. Log on to Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russa program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russa program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russa program on GJRB. The weird, the strange, the bizarre. Way out fun. Way out there. Another show coming soon on GJRB Online. Another Radioland coming soon on GJRB Online.
And we are back. Welcome to the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. It's where we're telling you some of the programs that are going on here on GJRB. And And I thought I'd have a leftover from our Saturday show that we had. And play a little Barry McGuire there real quick as we get things rolling, as we do the GJRB Schedule Update podcast. And this is where we bring you the program schedule and let you know exactly what's going on the GJRB rundown. So we're going to be getting started on that. And give you the program schedule and round up this in this last 45 minutes of the program. We're going to give you the schedule rundown right now, as a matter of fact. So we're going to get started. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to give you the program schedule, and on this program schedule immediately will be, you recognize this recording when you see it on YouTube, on the GJRB TV YouTube channel, because what you'll see there is you'll hear there is the audio portion of this podcast. Okay, so that you will know, where you heard us from. So let's get started now with the GJRB Schedule Update podcast, starting with our schedule. This is the Lock and Load Hit and Miss radio schedule, which you see there. Divided each week into week 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. The 4 weeks of the month. So we'll start off now with week 1, and as you see there, it's the CCF Church services starting that Monday broadcast at noon Central Time, followed at 2 by the Positive Rock Show Emerging Mondays. We'll have a brand new Emerging Monday show for you live on October 2nd, tentatively here on GJRB Online. The following day will be Tuesday. We'll be off the air. No broadcast on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, we're going to be on the air live at 2 o'clock Central for the Gary Russell program. Now, you'll see optional there. Optional just means that I choose to do a Gary Russell program there, because according to the schedule, I would have a Gary Russell program here. Now, if I do a Gary Russell program 2 days in a row back to back, that's my optional opinion. If I want to do 2 shows of the Gary Russell program, I can do that as part of the program schedule, because I don't always have my program on and off in my personal opinion. So I decided to put a couple more Gary Russell programs in there in the schedule, and if I do it, I might do it 2 days in a row back to back. But for this first full week of October, I am going to only have one Gary Russell program that week. That's Wednesday, October 4th, as you see there. Now going to October 5th, Thursday, no broadcast that day. We'll normally have a Gary J in the afternoon throwback Thursday, and that is where I go back and I go into the playlist and play songs I haven't played in a long time. And I plan on doing that further on down the line as we get back into the new year. I've got plans for a program like that. Kind of dig out some of the songs we haven't played in a long time on our up-and-coming shows when we started that. So we're gonna do a throwback Thursday version of Gary J in the afternoon and play a lot of older stuff that we haven't played in a long time. Okay, we head on out there. We're still in week 1. Let's go now to Friday, week 1, and of course that's Smooth Jazz, Smooth Afternoon, Friday, October 6th, live 2 o'clock Central Time. Start at noon, we're going to air noon Central Time that day with a couple hours of non-stop smooth jazz. Then I'm live at 2 with news, weather, weather on the 5s, sports page, and some great jazz. Smooth Jazz, Smooth Afternoon. Great variety of new jazz artists, your favorite jazz selections, and some classic jazz as well mixed in. It's a great show, a great afternoon of jazz, and I hope you'll tune in. That's 2 to 5 p.m. Central Time on October 6th, right here on GJRB Online, when we return to regular program schedule. At 5 o'clock, right after that is finished, of course, we have some more smooth jazz for a while before we call it quits for the day. So we go the following Saturday week 1, the first Saturday of the month, and the first Friday and Saturday of the month is always a jazz weekend. It's where I feature some jazz programming all weekend long on GJRB, and that includes the best of jazz. Now last month we did not do one, so we're going to do it this month, the return of jazz on the weekend. The best of jazz, Saturday afternoon, the 7th at 12 noon Central. Remember, all programs are subject to change and can change without notice. If something does come up, then we will pull that program and it will come back in the next month when the program comes back around in the schedule. The best of jazz. Then the following day will be Sunday. We don't really broadcast on Sundays. No plans to probably do that. If I were to do a broadcast on Sunday, it will be mainly Christian rock programming and a rebroadcast of that Sunday's church services. Other than that, that's all you'll hear on that broadcast day. Otherwise, we're off the air on Sundays most of the time. We never broadcast on Sunday at all, just Monday through Saturday. Okay, so let's go on now to week 2. On week 2, we're going to start that week off with a Gary Russell program. It will be Monday, October 9th, another Gary Russell program will be on the air, and it will be a Monday broadcast, October 9th, right here on GJRB Online. Remember, all programs are tentative, and as you see right there, I have it highlighted in, there it says tentative, and I'll highlight that in red to show you that all programs are subject to change, and these programs might not air at all. Like I said before, if you do not hear the program, there's probably a reason. Okay, more than likely I have an emergency that I had to tend to, or the program for some reason or another I had to tend to something, so the schedule was changed, or the program was changed, it was canceled, but I hadn't had a chance to post anything. Okay, so but otherwise these programs will be scheduled on the air. It will be on the air the day they're scheduled. So on the 9th, we have a Gary Russell program that's in the second week. Week 2, the Gary Russell program on the 9th. And the following day, the 10th, will be on the air with CCA Church Services and the Positive Rock Show again. And this time we do the Twin Spin Tuesday. Now, what will we ever do for this? I haven't done a Twin Spin Tuesday in like forever, it seems. I don't know. I promised a Twin Spin Tuesday the past 2 months, and for some apparent reason, I just haven't been able to do them for whatever reason. A lot of family events going on, a lot of events that I couldn't, I had no time to put it together. And it's one of those shows that has a very tight playlist when it comes to Twin Spin Tuesday, because I'm picking songs off the rotation with 2 songs from that same artist. So I usually have to do a pretty strict playlist with that show. So that's another reason why sometimes that program might not air on the day schedule. But I plan on having more of those shows within the month. I'm just going to be cycling the rotation like I do the rest of the programs, where I'm not going to have such a tight rotation. It's such a tight show that I'll have a playlist, but I'll be doing the playlist as I'm on the air. And sometimes I do that too, so that I can have more shows on the air. On the 11th at 12 o'clock noon Central, that's the second week of the month. Let's go back into that. The second week of the month will be on Wednesday. The second Wednesday of the month is Radio Land, and that is the old time radio programs. Now I had it scheduled for the 13th. Things kind of got screwed up, and I had to do some program switching, so that program didn't air. I canceled that in favor of a Gary Russell program that day. So the 13th was canceled. So basically, I I think I had to cancel a program, and then I didn't have to do whatever I should have canceled the show for. So what happened was I just put in a Gary Russell program in that time slot. But Radio Land will return in its second Wednesday of the month time slot as scheduled, and those programs that I have planned for you on that day will be on. And it is going to be, I think one of them is like Half Gun Will Travel, I believe. I don't have the schedule of the programs I'm going to air on that show. Let's see if I can do it by window. I had it here somewhere. Pop that in the other night and couldn't find it. But I know one of them is Gunsmoke. Whatever it is. I think it was Gunsmoke, a few westerns. One was Death Valley Days, and a few other programs. So that's going to be coming up on Radio Land. That will be Radio Land for October 11th, 10, 11, 17, Radio Land. And then the next Radio Land will be, now we're going to have 2 Radio Lands in that month. The second Radio Land, I'll show you when we come around, is going to be our Halloween show. And that's going to be our annual running of War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells. And I'm going to have a couple of other programs after it, including Inner Sanctum, an episode of Inner Sanctum, and follow that up by Lights Out. So that's going to be on that night. I'll give you when we get to that. Then on the 12th will be the next day there. That's a Thursday. Bible study. I'm going to rebroadcast. I have that scheduled going down the line. Week 2, the second Thursday of the month. We're going to air the most current Bible study, most recent Bible study will air that day at the noon hour for about an hour and a half. That'll probably be the only broadcast we have that day. If we have any more extended broadcasts that day, will probably be music on that broadcast day. So pretty much, if I have anything other than Bible study, it will probably be music. On the 13th, which will be the next day, that's the second Friday of the month. Second Friday of the month, the 13th, is Crooners and Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. This time around, last month, I did Crooners, and that was the very first, I reran the very first Crooners back in November of last year. This time around, the Crooners is going to be brand new and live. 2 hours, Crooners, that's on Friday, October 13th, at 12 noon Central, right here on GJRB Online, followed at 2 o'clock by an encore presentation of last month's Radio, Television, and Movie Classics. So I'm kind of flipping it around. That's Radio, Television Classics I had on last month. I'm going to rebroadcast that program on October 13th. On October 14th, as we go down the schedule now, that's the second Saturday of the month. We're going to, that's week 2, Saturday, will be Gary J. Sports Page. Now, I haven't had that show on in like forever, and I wasn't even sure I was going to even do this program anymore in light of what was going on with the NFL and the protesting, but I think it would be best if I continue to do that program, because a lot of that going on, I want to give you my opinion of it, and basically doing that. So that'll happen yesterday when the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't come out of their locker room to do start the national anthem. So I just want to continue talking about sports. I'm not going to let this football thing cancel Sports Page, because there's so much other sports out there. So Sports Page will be on. That's a tentative at this point, because I don't know. I haven't looked closely at the Cubs postseason schedule, so I don't know exactly what's going to be transpiring on that day, because that program airs, of course, on my 9-foot FM signal, Talk FM 108, and I don't know if that program, what time the game will be on that particular day, and whether or not it's going to preempt Sports Page on my 9-foot signal and here on the GJRB here online on Spreaker. Okay, so Just to let you know about that. Getting on down now to the next week. This is, like I said before, all programs are subject to change. This is the schedule we'll see. Next month will be a different schedule, and I will have another podcast the same way I did this one. And again, it will be uploaded on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. So if you see the schedule, if you're listening to it, you're more than likely on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. You can subscribe to the GJRB TV YouTube channel by just going on and getting one of my videos. Whether it be the Gary Russin program or one of my videos that I did of the Gary Russin program. Speaking of which, we'll talk about that coming up. The Gary Russin program video show. Then just hit that subscribe button and you'll be able to catch this broadcast all the time on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. Alright, let's get on board now and keep on going swiftly through this. We go now to, we are going on to week 3. So let's drop into week 3. In week 3, we start off our week 3 with some music. The GJRB music and Gary J in the afternoon. The great music, great variety. That is our main format here on GJRB. That's a mixture of Christian rock, regular secular music. I feel that secular music and Christian rock can be played very carefully. And can be played with a wide mixture of all formats, all genre, including country, rock, jazz, and rock and roll oldies, a few classics from the 40s and 50s, and a mixture of great news and information and sports. I have news updates and weather on the 5s and all that on that program. It's a great show. It's just a regular music show on GJRB Online. And a lot of times I kind of spread that program around, and that is the main format of that station. And the music gets played even, it can be played anytime on this station, so this program will probably get more played, and the playlist will continue, and that includes, I just mentioned before, about that Thursday show, where I do a Throwback Thursday edition. You never know when you'll hear us here on GJRB Online, and I'll be talking about that coming up. Meanwhile, we just started week 3 with that. Monday, week 3, Tuesday, will be the CCF church services, and we'll follow that up by Christian rock hits, which will be Christian rock music nonstop, or it'll be another positive rock show, either live or voice tracked. Either live or voice tracked. Now, I'm going to do more live, but sometimes I might voice track it if I got things going on, or if I'm doing something. I might voice track it, but otherwise it will be live. That will be on that day. Then let's jump over to Wednesday. Wednesday, week 3. Wednesday, week 3 goes like this, going down the page. Wednesday, week 3 is Way Out There and the Last 7 Days. Now, what these shows are, the Way Out There in the Last 7 Days, is a rerun from the most past recent show, the most previous show. Okay? Now, I haven't had Way Out There on for a while. As a matter of fact, it's been on hiatus. I've been not being able to put another show on since August 25th. The last Way Out There show we had on was August 25th. And on that show was the day that I had my guest JMD Board on the Dream Analyst. So we're going to repeat that show on that day. That will be on Wednesday, October 18th. On GJRB Online. That will be tentatively scheduled Wednesday, October 18th at 11 a.m. Central. That's our earliest start time. Don't really ever start on the air at 11 a.m., but sometimes if I have a program that I want to start earlier, it's 3 hours like this one, it'll start at 11 a.m. 11 to 2 will be Way Out There. Okay, way out there, and it'll be an encore presentation of the August 25th show when I interviewed JMD Ward. So, look for that one, because I know a lot of you probably missed that. I still have it on the GJRB Spreaker public site, I think. But if for any reason it'll probably get deleted, I'm going to repeat that broadcast on October 18th. Here on GJRB Online, okay? It's going to get repeated, followed by the most recent last 7 days. You know how I kind of flip the show around? Some stations do that. I do that. I flip the show around. Now, as you will know, the third Friday of the month, I have last 7 days and Way Out There. Those will be the new episodes. Okay, those will be the new current episodes. They'll follow back to back with each other. The ones that I'm playing on Wednesday, the 18th, will be a encore presentation of the August 25th Way Out There. That will be on there at 11 a.m. Central Time, followed by the last 7 days, the most recent show. And that'll be the one previous to it. I'll probably use the same day. Thinking about using that same week, rebroadcast that one. And then the following Wednesday, which I usually go the last 7 days, that Wednesday, the 18th, I'll probably be in the last 7 days in the morning. And I have that ready to go for broadcast on Friday, the 20th. Okay, October 19th, we're not on the air. We're going to be off the air that day. We don't broadcast on that Thursday. So we will not be on the air August 19th. But then on Friday, August 20th, as I mentioned before, the last 7 days, a brand new episode, brand new show recorded that week on October 18th. That will be broadcast on that day, followed by a brand new Way Out There. I'll be on live that day, 2 o'clock, that Friday afternoon, with a freestyle edition of Way Out There, the strange, the bizarre, the unusual, on that day. So be prepared for that. So we're going to be doing that program live, tentatively, on October 20th, Friday afternoon, 2 to 5 p.m., right here on GJRB Online. For people who, the FMers will know for a fact that I'll be on 88.9 KGRB, the FM side of GJRB Online, and heard on our signal in the north end here, our neighborhood signal, our closed circuit FM signal. October 21st, we have that's the third Saturday of the month, of course, is Bluegrass Jubilee. We haven't had that show on for a while. It's because I haven't got any new music material, and a lot of what you hear on Bluegrass Jubilee, I'm going to be sorting out again into add-ons, light, heavy, and moderate. So I'm planning on repeating a lot of the songs that I've been playing on past bluegrass shows, so be aware of that. That's for sure. We're going to have more of the same songs that we played before, that we've had on for a while. So Bluegrass Jubilee will be a well-remembered show. I'm thinking about taking a Bluegrass Jubilee, an older one, and repeating it, because I really don't have any new material for that show yet. So more than likely look for a rerun of Bluegrass Jubilee, the most recent one. So it will not be live on that Saturday. No live Bluegrass that Saturday. It will probably be a rebroadcast of an older one. Okay, so that's week 3 Saturday. That will be October 21st here on GJRB Online. Remember, all programs are subject to change. It can change without notice, or we will have a GJRB schedule update podcast with any updated program schedule information. So be aware of that. We could end up having to cancel a broadcast for any reason whatsoever. If it does get canceled, I will reschedule Bluegrass Jubilee for some time in the middle, so that we may even have 2 Bluegrass Jubilees on the air in the next month. So be aware of that. Okay? So let's go to the final week, week 4. Week 4 And in week 4, it's basically going to be the Gary Russin program starting that Monday. Okay, going into week 4, the Gary Russin program will be on that Monday. That will be the only broadcast on the air 2 to 5 p.m. Central Time. Tuesday, the 24th, Tuesday, October 24th, in the final week of the month was going to be the CCF church services, and then we're going to have rock worship. Now that's our worship music show. We haven't had that one on for quite a while too. In fact, rock worship's been off the air for several months, and more than likely what I'll do is I'll take the last rock worship we had on the air and repeat that one as well as I start sorting out and getting some new music for that program. So rock worship will be a rerun on the 24th, but a brand new rock worship will air in November. Okay, getting on to the 25th, which will be that Wednesday, the last Wednesday of the month, the 25th. Looking at that last Wednesday, the 25th, will be smooth jazz. We're going to have smooth jazz all day leading up to the beginning of the next month. So smooth jazz is going to pick up there. Okay, we're going to have smooth jazz on the 25th, and that'll be basically non-stop jazz, and perhaps maybe I'll be on live a little bit in some voice tracked programming as well. So you'll probably hear, it'll probably be voice tracked half/live. I do weather on the 5s and some sports and news and stuff like that, and maybe throw it and maybe do a little bit live. But otherwise, it's going to be pretty much voice track that day. And that's probably going to wrap up the whole month of October on GJRB Online as we head into that month. Heading into Friday, which we haven't touched yet, Friday the 27th. Friday the 27th. Okay, that's the last Friday of the month. And on the last final Friday of the month, we're going to be once again on live early at 11 a.m. for the return of Oldies. Now remember the first Good Times, Great Oldies show we had back in the spring? It turned out pretty good, didn't it? It was a great show. I loved all the oldies we played. I'm going to take that show and rerun it. So if it sounds like you're hearing weird stuff like spring promos that we're going to have you on it, it's more than likely you're hearing a rerun of the very first Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies show. So I'm going to repeat that show. Okay, that's going to get repeated. That will be a rerun. So pretty much the last part of October is going to be reruns. Because I'm going to be getting set up for November. So I'm going to be working on November, so those are probably going to be some so sometimes if I'm working on the next month's programming, the programming you'll probably listen to might end up to be reruns. So if you hear reruns, it's pretty much toward the end of the month, and it's because I'm working on the new batch of shows for November. So, and also probably be working on the GJRB Schedule Update podcast, which will be uploaded for that month, along with the video on the GJRB TV YouTube channel. In November, I'm going to plan on a GJR, and I'm going to talk about this here in a couple of minutes before we close out. The video version of the Gary Russin program, I'm going to talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. But before we do that, I'm going to finish up this schedule. Okay, so you see our program board there, the mixer. So let's go now to that day. Again, 11 a.m. We're going to be on early that day with the Gary J's Good Times, Great Oldies, 50s, 60s rock and roll. That will go on until about 2 o'clock. Then we're going to have Radio Land. And like I said before, that Radio Land's going to be an encore presentation, and of course our annual running of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. We're going to run it, as we do every year. War of the Worlds, our Halloween offering, and we're going to be running it again this year, and we're going to run it on Wednesday, October 25th. at 2 o'clock Central Time, 2 to 4 p.m. That's going to include War of the Worlds, Inner Sanctum, and Lights Out. Okay? So War of the Worlds and I Want to Run Live, Inner Sanctum, and Lights Out. That will go at 2 o'clock, and then, at 4 o'clock rather, and then at 4 o'clock, I'm going to do the encore presentation of Swing Time 003 from 1945, when we did this past summer. So a rerun of this past summer Swing Time will air right afterward here on GJRB Online. So we didn't get a chance to catch that Swing Time. I think it's still on our board. Although I believe that was our summer run back on the 28th in July. That's been deleted. So if you didn't get a chance to hear that podcast, I'm going to repeat Swing Time 1945 on October 25th at 4 o'clock Central, right after Radioland, here on GJRB Online. So that'll be kind of a nostalgic day, the last Friday of the month, which will wrap up October's programming on GJRB Online. The final week will be kind of an open week, and then we're going to start November off. Now, November starts on a Wednesday, so we're going to stay off the air after that until probably Wednesday, November 1st. And then on Wednesday, November 1st, we'll do another Gary Wrestling Program Extra. And we'll lead into the beginning of the brand new November programming. The November programming is ready. Pretty much like I said before, I will have another GJRB Schedule Update podcast to announce those programs. And the schedule will be remade for that month and issued, and I will have that on the GJRB TV YouTube channel for you to see. Okay. Meanwhile, though, so that will do it. That's pretty much our schedule. And when I return, I'll have a wrap-up of the GJRB Schedule Update podcast, and let you know what's coming up on the GJRB programming for the next couple of weeks right after we take this short break.
Welcome to GJRB, a program highlighting the artists that play on GJRB. Artist Showcase. The first show featuring the music of Samuel Day. We'll talk about him and his music and the songs he wrote and recorded, including his latest hit on the GJRB playlist, The Roses. In addition, you'll hear all the other Samuel Day songs. Click and listen to the podcast of the Artist Showcase.
Podcast available now on the GJRB Spreaker public site. America's Street Music is back on GJRB Bluegrass with the Grass Golds, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys, and so much more. So it's time to bring it back, and on more often. It's Bluegrass Jubilee Freestyle, with all the great songs you heard before, and some new up-and-coming stars with some emerging bluegrass. Also, some all-time gospel favorites too.
At a brand new time, every third Saturday at 12 noon Central on GJRB.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end-time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Another Radioland coming soon on GJRB Online.
This is GJR Broadcasting.
And that is our schedule for now and how it works. Again, we have updates once a month to talk about what is coming on our GJRB program schedule for the month. Keep in mind, the holiday season is coming with some internet programming schedules, including Radio Land's annual running of War of the Worlds, which I just mentioned. And that's our Halloween offerings we do every year. And then on Golden Age Radio. And of course our Christmas annual running of the Christmas Carol starring Ryan Barrymore at Campbell's Playhouse. And our Christmas episodes of classic radio programs. That's coming up after Thanksgiving. We'll start things off with our GJRB. We'll again be giving you the American Christmas Jukebox with all your favorite Christmas music and more often this year. More holiday events broadcast from our Christian Community Fellowship Church, including the Harvest Festival event around Halloween. Also our Thanksgiving service, our Christmas Eve service, and a yearly message from Pastor Ron Johnson's our New Year's Eve predictions as part of the Best of the Gary Russell Program year-end review, and as part of the GJRB Bright Holiday programming starting in late October. Join me in GJRB again this season for more holiday programming on GJRB Online. And that's going to put an end to our GJRB Schedule Update podcast. And I want to thank you once again for listening to our show, listening to this podcast. And look forward to all the programs we'll be putting on for you again this year here on GJRB Online. Holiday programming, holiday music, all that coming up again this year, which I'm kind of really looking forward to maybe starting our holiday programming a little early this year. I know last year I kind of poked a lot of fun at starting Christmas programming a little so early, and sorry about that because a lot of people do kind of like to have their Christmas holiday offerings just a little early, and I know a lot of the stations do it anyway, including the TV, the cable networks and everything start running Christmas music and Christmas movies and various things like that, including Freeform, and they do theirs a little early. So, if you can't beat them, join them. Just have a little bit of fun with it. Let's start early. And have our holiday programming just kind of cranked up a little early this year because, why not? Like I said, all the other stations are doing it. And I kind of would think it'd be better if we just do it that way and have it so that the programs, we can have some of the programs on. So, why not? It's not going to hurt anything. And besides, a lot of people like their programming just a little early because it kind of gives them that great feeling of, holiday music and, getting the packages wrapped and all that good stuff. So, hey, we're going to do it. All programming, all new programming. And this has been the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. All programs are subject to change and can change without notice. And like I said before, if that happens and I don't get time to post it, I'll just give you a message either way, or another GJRB Schedule Update Podcast will be on the air. That's going to do it for me. I'm Gary J. Russell, and thanks for listening to the GJRB Schedule Update Podcast.
This has been a GJRB podcast presentation.
Coming to GJRB, a program highlighting the artists that play on GJRB. Artist Showcase. The first show featuring the music of Samuel Day. We'll talk about him and his music and the songs he wrote and recorded, including his latest hit on the GJRB playlist, The Roses. In addition, you'll hear all the other Samuel Day songs. Click and listen to the podcast of the Artist Showcase.
Podcast available now on the GJRB Spreaker public site.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling,
It's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page.
Join me for Sports Page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB.
Another Radio Land coming soon on GJRB Online.
This is GJR Broadcasting.